Welcome back to 23 Minute Reads with me, Mya D. This is kind of like my virtual book club because in these short videos, I share with you my takeaways from my current reading. Right now, that is African American Dance. As a part of my 23 to 23 challenge, I'm reading 23 minutes per day, every day, as an action of self-love, as an investment into myself, and as a way of providing myself with some consistency in an ever-changing world. Hoping that you will join me along in this journey by liking this video, subscribing to the channel, and dropping some comments down there in that comment section so there's an actual dialogue going on. Having in mind that while I have several decades of experience as a dancer, an educator, and a curriculum writer, I am not the know-all be-all for this book. I'm simply providing a space for dialogue. Well, this week I read pages 157 through 218. Let me get my notes so I can give you my 3 takeaways. Feel free to go ahead and like, subscribe to the channel while I'm getting these notes, but you could also drop either the word book or the book emoji in the comments below just so that I know who's here with me. Takeaway number 1 is erasure. Black communities were dancing, gave birth to, and were dancing movements like the Charleston, the shimmy, and the black bottom for a long time before they actually appeared in performance venues. But this is typical of vernacular and social dances. They develop as an extension of a community and an aspect of that community's culture. Dance is a form of moving history that can travel via the dancing body to other communities and to performance venues. Not always written in books, this history is imprinted in the memories and the actions of its community members, and sometimes recorded in other art forms like song. This helps to prevent a level or helps to slow down a level of erasure. Caucasian producer George White claimed to have created both the Charleston and the Black Bottom, 2 dances that were performed in his shows during the 1920s. But thankfully, fortunately, William Marion Cook quickly responded in the New York Times with this quote, "The Charleston, African in nature, has been done in the South, especially in the little islands off of Charleston, South Carolina, for at least 40 years, to my knowledge," end quote. In the words of the magnificent writer, Dr. Kokava Selassie, you gotta have a long memory because you're gonna be singing a long song, end quote. I've decided to continue to engage with this type of movement history in order to decrease the presence of erasure that is embedded in appropriation. Takeaway number 2 is the Whitman Sisters. In 1904, the 3 eldest sisters of the Whitman family formed the Whitman Sisters New Orleans Troubadours. This action created the only major company of its time to be owned and managed by African American women. Now, this is impactful, important, because it was common practice during that time for companies to be managed by white people just to ease business transactions like the signing of contracts, collecting pay, and so forth. The company successfully ran for 40 years, performing and presenting African American talent. The sisters were talented in both the areas of performance and business and became a synonym for the highest quality entertainment, end quote. Now, prior to creating the company, to establishing a company, the Whitman sisters actually had experience performing themselves. So this action was, to a certain degree, paying it forward, creating access, creating a pathway for those coming after them. The sisters poured into individuals and the communities that they engaged with. They were known for attending church and putting healthy amounts into the collection plates of the churches in the cities that they performed in and traveled to. They were also known to pick up picks that were children between the ages of 6 and 15, and to manage to train those picks. Remember, they themselves already had experience in the performance venues. Catherine Basie once said this. Here's another quote. Any mother could tell you that if your daughter was with the Whitman sisters, she was safe. Now, the world of show business can be dangerous for children. So this remark is truly remarkable. The fact that they were safe, that you could rest assured that your children were safe in the business and away from you, that's a level of peace that we can only hope for. We can only hope for and continue to achieve, to work towards. Takeaway number 3 is TOBA. The Whitman sisters established their company in 1904, and by 1907, there were more than 1,000 African Americans performing in showbiz. The Great Migration created a boom in both urban city populations as well as African Americans in showbiz. Not only were adults moving from farming lifestyle and culture of the South, there were also a good number of picks. Now, what are picks, you might say? Because I've said that several times before. Pick is actually short for pickaninny. And this refers to children that, once again, are between the ages of 6 and 15 and were hired as talent to perform in these variety shows and these traveling shows. As children, they could easily grab the attention and hold the attention of possible spectators, so they were picked up by shows as talent to perform in these shows. It was also not uncommon for these children to be escaping and running away from challenging situations. There's actually information in the book about an 8-year-old Bill Robinson who travels by train to Washington, D.C. in order to escape the living situation that he was in. And during that time was known to get the milk off the cart. This is back in the time when milk was delivered to your houses, and get food in any way possible until he actually secured a job as a pick. So what you have is showbiz providing a doorway to another type of life. Is providing access to wealth that many were looking for during that time. During that time, also, numerous theaters were being developed and established to satisfy the desire for African American entertainment. We have this influx of people coming into the community. We have a need now, and how do we supply that need? We have the development of urban theaters. A collective of owners unified, creating the Theater Owner Booking Association, TOBA for short. TOBA created its own performance circuit, serving about 30,000 audience members weekly in its peak during the 1920s. So this unified collective creates a traveling path, creates booking spaces for those African-American performers stepping into showbiz. While the bookings began to slow with the development of talking pictures, movies as we know them by now, both TOBA and the Whitman sisters created pathways of success for African Americans interested in showbiz. That's amazing. Right now, I just started the variety section, which I am loving because it offers specificity and it offers insight into the specificity of Bill Robinson's technique as a tap dancer. So here's my question. Here's my question for you. Who are 2 influential tap dancers that come to your mind? And I want you to drop that in the comments below so that we are continuing to share information and grow the knowledge of everybody that is engaging with these videos. So drop that in the comments below. And speaking of engagement, thank you for staying with me through this video. Hopefully you liked and subscribed by this time. Hopefully you found some insight or just a break from other stuff. Stay blessed, spread a good word, and I'll see you again soon.